Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and as you can tell today we are not in my basement. This is my kitchen, and I wanted to talk about sponges. So I have a question for everyone here, and then we'll kind of get into the video. The first one is I have all these different sponges to try that are compostable, or I think compostable. We're gonna verify that, but they're supposed to be all natural and they're supposed to break down. The question is, how do I test them in the kitchen? What are some things you would like to see as a viewer for these tests to see how they hold up and how they last? So with that, let's get on to what these sponges are and what I'm hoping from them. So the first thing is I want to show you, this is the sponge that I typically use every day. These are these standard blue sponges from 3M. I usually cut them in half and I use half at a time. So that's what I normally use. They last pretty well. I throw them in the dishwasher to clean them, and because I'm only using half, these take a long time to go through the packs that they have. This is out of a single pack. Normally they're in 3 or it's up to, I think, as high as like 24, which lasts me years to go through. So these are really good, but they don't break down. I'm not going to test it. These are all plastic. They're all fake. This entire thing would not break down in a bin. It would probably just sit there forever. And it's probably sitting in landfills forever too, which is the issue that I have and why I'm trying to stop using these. Now, one of the other sponges I tried is this. Now, this isn't the, this is actually one that you can cut, but this is a Sponge Daddy sponge. And if you click, I have a link you can click on, and you can see the video that I have from another site, a review of them. I will never buy these again. I still have it. They work okay. For dishes, I found that they do not work very well at all, but the big thing is that these are plastic and you get these little tiny microbeads coming off of them. These might be banned at some point. The biggest issue we have right now is plastics going into the water. This could be a major concern in the future with how much plastics these give off, especially as they start wearing out and they go into the waterways. So this Sponge Daddy sponge, I won't use these again either. I'll never buy these again. These are not going to be part of my repertoire for cleaning stuff. My last thing that I have that I'm actually using today the most are these 3M Scotch-Brite microfiber cloths. Now again, same issue, they slowly peel away the microfibers on them. These are probably 100% plastic. It doesn't say anything else or not cotton. And they do have cotton versions of these. I probably will try buying a cotton version at some point, but they have these, as you can see here, these little dots on them, and these really work well, I feel, for scrubbing stuff. They just, they tend to work well. They tend to break stuff down. You just, when they're too soiled, they start to smell. You throw them in the wash, and you wash them, and they're ready again. These last a long time. In fact, I think I've had this one now for 6 months. I've like buy them in packs of 2, and actually I've never worn them out because I just started with them 6 months ago. So they've never had to buy another one of these. So these aren't bad, but they're not perfect. Now, on to the natural sponges, or what are supposed to be natural sponges. The first one we're going to cover is 3M's Greener Clean here. So this one I picked up at a store, and I'm reading the back, and it says on here, scrubbing fibers made from 50% agave plant. Like, great, everything else it mentions is all natural. Well, I go online and I find out the other 50% of this scrubbing surface on the top here is plastic. So the sponge is all natural, the top is 50% natural, and the rest of it's plastic. So I don't know if I want to put this in one of my bins. It's better probably than this sponge right here, but I don't know how much better it is when 50% of it is still plastic. So it's getting there. But 3M, I'd like to see you have a better solution. I think you're a better company than that. I know you guys can do it if you put your minds to it. So 3M, get working on something that's 100% reusable and compostable. And let me know. I will be glad to follow up and re-review this. But for right now, I'll test them out, but I'm not going to compost this. I'm not willing to do that. Maybe I can cut off right here and compost the sponge part and see how well that works. But we'll see. Now, the other brand that I was able to find in stores is this Twist brand. And these are just regular sponges, no scrubbers. This is sponges and scrubbers, so they have like a layer. And this one, the sponges are, the scrubbers are 100% plant-based and dye-free, but it doesn't really tell you what they're made of. So I don't know what this is made of. So we'll have to see if this breaks down, and it also has a little label on here. We'll have to see if that breaks down as well. Then another Twist product. This one has a Loofah sponge on the top of it, and that should break down. And again, it says, I think it says all natural hand-sewn stitching and natural loofah, natural cellulose, 100% plant-based, and no glues. So these are the sponges we're going to try out here. The question is, what should we do to test the durability? Because if these wear out in a week or 2 weeks, it might be better off buying these then. So, you know, that's the real question here, is how long do these last and how well do they work? I have a couple things that I'm going to try, such as I have an abrasive cutting board. I'm going to rub them on that to see if they just flake apart like crazy, to make sure that these top part scrubbers last. So, but let me know in the comments here. I'm going to pin a comment in there. Please let me know how you want me to test these sponges in the kitchen. And I'm going to set up some test environments. We'll test them out, see how they do in the kitchen. And we'll also take one fresh one that's just been rinsed with some water, and we're going to see if they'll compost in a bin and what it'll take to compost them. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And thank you again for watching these videos, and thank you for your comments on how we can test these sponges.